Hi, I'm Jamie and welcome to Teacher's Tech. Today I want to show you how to use Wondershare Filmora. Filmora makes video editing simple. It's used by millions of people out there, and what I really like is how it has a built-in stock media that you can use for free to use in your videos, and it has built-in effects that you can add to make your videos even more impressive. So I'm going to go through the steps of getting started with how to use Filmora for beginners to make sure you see how easy it is to start creating. Wondershare Filmora will work on your Windows or Mac computers. I'm going to be showing you from Windows 11 today. And just to let you know, this is not a free app. You can download it for free and test all the things that I'm showing you today in this video. But when you're done in exporting, it will come out with a watermark. To get rid of that watermark, you will need to purchase it. And the other thing, if you're looking for a certain part in this video, take a look at the description for all the timestamps, and then you can jump around in this video to find exactly what you're looking for. I'm using Filmora 13, so it has all the latest updates. And take a look at some of the things that you can do with Filmora with screen recording, AI to text video, and AI text-based editing. Now, I'm just focusing more on the basic editing of it, but I'll have different videos that come out kind of explaining what you can do with the AI with Filmora. Now, first of all, when you start a project, I could go ahead and just click on a project, but you have to decide what is this project for. And take a look at this aspect ratio. If I drop down, if I just wanted, let's say for my computer or TV, this is what I would pick. But if you're looking to build something in Instagram, 1-to-1 ratio or portrait, maybe it's going to be TikTok or YouTube Shorts, that would be it. You can see all the different ones. For this tutorial, I'm just going to be using it from 16:9, and then we go ahead and just click on Start with New Project. You can see Filmora pops open, so let's get started to bringing in some media. So this video tutorial is going to be a step-by-step tutorial. I'm going to be going through all these different things up here and explaining the controls and everything as we start editing our video. So the first step is to bring in media to Filmora. And what is media? Well, media can be videos, images, audio, and it's very easy to do that. Let's click right here. Click here to import media. So if I click here, I can go to the folder that I want. I can select 1, 2, 3, or all of them. So if I was going to just select one picture, and I could hold Shift down, and then it's going to select all the three in between, and I can hit Open. And those three get edited. I'm just going to say yes to the proxy file here. So right now, these are in my media bin, and I can go through and I can make different views of them. Right now it's under media thumbnail, but I could do a list view if you wanted to see things differently. You can see there's also ways to sort once you get a lot of different things in. I'm going to keep this as media. Now we can go up to import media files, the same thing. I could bring in an entire folder, but you can see also I can import from a camera or phone, instant cutter tool, and down here. The other way we can simply do this, if I open up a folder right here, and you'll see that I can drag things over. So even if it was going to be multiple ones, I can select and I can drag them over in here, and it adds them to my media bin. Now that we have this media in, I can preview any of these. So this is a 5-second video. So if I go ahead and play this, right here, you get to see what that preview is. I haven't started doing any editing on this yet. Just to point out, if you have maybe an older computer, it's not as powerful, notice up top here, I have full quality. You can choose to play back maybe at half quality. If you notice that this is kind of choppy and lagging, you can decrease the quality. So if your computer is really old, you can make that change there. I'm just going to be keeping it full quality. We have our play buttons here where we can watch and stop things at this point. So this will allow you to view any of the things in here. So even if it's an audio, I can listen to the audio. So now that we have some media, let's move to the next step. At any point you want to make changes to your settings, so maybe you want to change the aspect ratio, you can go to File and take a look at Project Settings. So if you decided, oh, you don't want it in widescreen, drop down and choose what you want, and it will make the change at that point. Same thing, if you wanted it to be 4K, we can make that change. I'm keeping all this as the default for this tutorial here today. So I'm just going to hit OK. The other thing is, so if I go ahead, I can save project or save project as, since this is my first time, I'll just hit save project. I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. So I'm going to call this demo, and this is going to be Filmora. So just like that, hit save. And you're going to notice right at top now that this will have the name showing that it's saved. Let's take this clip here, 41 seconds, and place it in the timeline here to start our editing. Notice I can drag it all around. I can place it in different tracks. I'll talk about these different tracks a little later on, why we need them. Now, first of all, I could hit play up here if I wanted to and stop it. But I like to use the space bar. So if I just click it, it starts it, and then I click again, it stops. Notice when it's playing, you see the audio right away. So I'm about to say something when it gets to
what am I thinking?
There, then it gaps, and then, so today I start talking again. So when you see the clip, it allows you to see the audio plus the video clip. The playhead, I can drag this playhead as quick or as fast as I want to jump around to different parts. If I go ahead and zoom up on the clip, let's say I pull it all the way over, this allows me to make my playhead. So now when I move, I'm just moving frame by frame. So I can get to an exact place to do a cut. I can zoom it all the way over to the left. Let's see if I wanted to see all my clips together and I had a longer video, I could see the whole project more that way. If I click right here, this allows me just to see it on the full screen to fit whatever screen I have. Let's start some editing. So on this part, you can see where I'll just drag the playhead and I'll hit my space bar.
So what am I thinking?
I don't want any of this right here. So a quick way I could do this, if I just drag from either end. So if I drag right here, notice how my mouse changes. I click and hold, I can just drag it to the playhead and it kind of snaps the playhead there. I like to place the playhead where I'm going to trim to. But I can still drag this around. So notice if I drag it, I can still move it away if I want. Just because you trimmed it doesn't mean you can't place it back. I can trim this and I can untrim it as well. It didn't change the original file. And the other thing is if you're doing some editing, you can undo or Control Z. So if I hit that, it undoes the last step, or I can redo to place it back there. So remember that when you're doing some editing as well. Okay, so I have, let's say this right here, I've trimmed it this way. I can also trim it from the ends, but maybe a different way I could do this is to move my cursor over here. I could just do a snip or a cut here. So I can split, now I have two pieces. I want to point out that there's scissors over here when I have the clip selected that does the same thing. So now I have this clip here that I can do whatever I want. So I could even take a clip at the end and move it to the beginning or place it on a different track, or I could just hit delete. So those are some different ways you could trim. Now, what happens if I want something out of the middle? So notice right here, if I hit play
In Filmora,
I stop talking and then I start.
I want to be able to.
Well, maybe I don't want to have that gap there. So what I can do is if I place my, so if I want my mouth, make sure it's closed right there, hit a snip, and then I could go ahead over here and I'll make sure my mouth is kind of closed again right there and snip it. Now I have this chunk. I can hit delete. It takes it out. So if I just hit my space bar to play, watch to see the edit.
In Filmora, I want to be able to show you
how to
barely
even notice that the gap was even taken out. So I could also do this by making one snip right here and just sliding it either way. And notice I click on the clip and I can drag it back this way. So different ways you can edit it and take the trim back to if you've edited it too much. Now I want to show you a bunch of different ways that you can transform your clip still. And I'm going to go ahead and just start from scratch with this one again and bring it onto this video track. I'll just make some quick edits to this, just to the ends here. I'm not going to worry about all the edits that I showed you before in the middle. Now, first thing I want to show you, notice that how I have the edges here. I don't want this. If I was getting rid of the green screen, I don't want this stuff to be here. So I need to crop this here. So Filmora makes it very easy. If I select this, there's the crop tool right here. So if I click it, notice the shortcuts there to Alt-C, but if I click it, it brings this up. Now, The ratio, if it's under the 16:9, it always stays in this ratio of 16:9. I don't want the 16:9 here, so I'm going to go actually to custom at the very bottom, because this will allow me to drag these to exactly where I need it to. So I can just drag it from both ends, and then I can drag this down and hit apply. So now I do have the black edges on this, but I'm going to be getting rid of this green screen in a moment. Now, the next thing what I want to show you is what happens if you bring something onto a track above. So if I take this, we'll take this one right here, this 24-second, and I'll just drag it over top. So this is what a lot of people do with B footage. You have your main video that you put here, then you'd have your B footage. If I go ahead and play this, so as the playhead moves,
so today
notice
I'm showing you how to
that the video up top plays. Now you can do some things with this video to make it seen, and you can get to more of the settings of the video if you double click on them. So if you click on them once, so if I click off and just click on them, you'll notice it just selects the video. But if I double click on it, I get a few things that happen. Over here under video, I have a lot more options that open up. I'll just go back to basics and I get the handles. So with the handles, what I can do is I can size the clip. So I could place this, I could size it, but I can also drag it around. So now if I just go ahead and hit play,
edit clips in Filmora.
I have two videos playing at once. And I can do this again and again by adding more tracks. So if I go manage tracks, add video tracks, place it here, I'm going to go back I'll just click off of it, and I'm back in media. So if I was going to bring in, we could bring in a picture. So here's a picture here. This is a picture. If I drag a picture in and place it over here,
I want to be able to show you how to take
this
those
one
gaps
becomes the top level one that you're seeing. And I can do these same effects to the pictures. If I double click on it, I get the handles and I can move it around anywhere I want. So you can mix pictures and videos all together. The one nice thing with pictures are that you can take a picture and you can make it as long as you want because it's static. You can't do that with a video. With a video, you can only drag it for as long as it is. So if I try to drag it longer, I can't because it was only filmed for so long. I can do a speed up or slow down, change the duration, and I'll show you where that is in a moment, but just some differences with pictures and videos. So I'm just gonna delete this one track here. So notice you have different options on your tracks. If I go ahead and just right click on this, I get these options. So if I go delete empty tracks, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this right here. So we'll work on these two here together. So if I go to this one here, some other things I want to point out. If I double click on this, take a look at all the different options. And I'm just going to show you where some things are. So under the basic, this is where we can transform. I showed you dragging the handles, but we can change it here. As I drag this, the position changes. We can rotate our videos or images on it. Take a look at all the different options that you have and play around with these here. So we have auto enhance, we have drop shadow. So if I want drop shadow on, I turn it on, and now there's this drop shadow. And then when you turn these on, you have more settings that you can play with from there. So then on any of these, if you take a look, if you move over, so right now I'm under video basic, then we go to mask. Do we want it to be masked by a shape? So if I pick circle, notice how it changes. I can change the size of this and drag it into place. So if I hit play again,
so today I'm showing you
I
how
have
to
this
edit
within here. There's other shapes I could choose as well, and I can go back to none. We have AI tools, and take a look at this. I'm gonna go and just move this out of the way here. So you can see me right here. This is how easy it is to use green screen here. So if I just click this on, and I have the green screen behind me, click this on here, and I gotta make sure I have the right clip selected. So I didn't select this one. I turn this on, automatically, now it's gone. The green is gone. That's all transparent. And I'll show you what I mean here in a moment because I'm gonna change these layers around. If I go ahead and drag this one up, let's say, and this is the bottom one now. take a look at this. And I'm going to go ahead and make this larger. And I'll just cover the whole screen here with this one. And I'll just move myself around, click this one, and drag it just like this. So you can get the idea of what's happening. So now I put this as my background.
So what am I thinking? So today I'm showing you how to edit.
And take a look at how good of a job. I didn't even have to adjust anything in the green screen, and I can't see any green around there. And I placed the video in the background here. So I can go through, and if I needed to adjust anything, if it was still some green, I can make some adjustments in the tolerance or the edge thickness through here. Now, the next thing what I want to show you is animation. So if I go ahead and on this clip right here, I can quickly add an effect to it. I could, let's say, let's vortex in. So if I drag this down, add this in, so this will vortex in. Watch as it comes in.
So what am I thinking?
That's the vortex in, and I can place something on the out. If it's a zoom out, I can drag it down, place it in here, and then it's going to go.
And you'll see once you put everything
zoom
back
out.
to
So I had myself zoom out because that was the clip that I actually added to instead of this one. So lots of fun with these different ways to transform the video. So I showed you all these things that you can do to video clips or picture clips. You can do many of these same things to audio as well. So I have an audio file here. I'm going to drag this down, and I have to place this inside where you can see where this is audio track here. If you get too many of these different tracks, you can select on them and hit delete, and you're going to see that they disappear. So if I select on the track, hit delete on my keyboard, and I can remove the different ones if I want. The other thing I want to point out, you can grab at different places here and adjust how much you want. If you want the preview or bigger, you can make some room to that. So wherever you get these, you can go through and adjust them different ways. So let's go ahead, bring an audio down here. So we bring it to the audio track. If I hit my space bar, it goes ahead and plays. You can make the, if you click on this audio meter, if I click on it, it will stay on, and then you're able to see, kind of read what's happening with the audio a little bit more. All those things with trimming and cutting, you can do the same thing with audio. So I have my audio, I can make my cuts to it. If I needed to take out a certain chunk, I can do that with audio, just like I did with the video too. So if I hit delete, that goes and it nudges over. I would place the video on a video track and the audio down below. So if I hit play, now I have audio playing with video. If I double click on this audio here, you can see that I can make those adjustments just like I did with video here. So I can make all these different adjustments, whether it be volume, sound balance, and I can go through and check all the different things. There's even speed. So if I needed to change the speed of the audio clip, whether it be faster, if I bring it up this way, or slower. So that would stretch how long that clip would play for. But a lot of the things that I showed you with video, how to access things would be very similar with audio. Just make sure you have it in the audio track. So I showed you how to bring in your own media, but take a look at the stock media. So if I go up to stock media, and if I'm in the library here, you can search for specific videos or pictures if you're looking for them. Just type up here. Notice that they have some examples here, even with green screen. So if I go and want to take one of these right here and drag it down, I can place it down here. If I hit play, and we have an explosion. And remember how easy it works. If I go ahead, double click on this, and then I just have to go to basic, go to the AI tools, go to Chroma key, and then the green is gone. It's that easy. So again, if I go back to my library, I can be looking for pictures. I can do a search in here. So if I type forest, it will go through and search for those different things and go ahead and use them. The other things I want to point out here is the AI image. So we have AI image. Take a look at this. If I hit start, I can ask it to create. So this is just like other AI tools. Just give a description of at least 10 words, and it's going to go and produce a graphic for you. And also take a look at the aspect ratio. Depending on what you're doing, you can go through 16:9, 9:16, or 1:1. So think of something you want to type here. So I went ahead and typed this, a cat in a dark alley jumping out of a garbage can. Oh, I better put an N in here. Getting chased by rats. So let's see what happens. I haven't tried this one before, so I'm going to go and hit start creating. Well, here's what it generated for me. I can click on some different options here. I'm not sure what this is right here, but you know, if you've used AI before, sometimes it comes out much better. If you want to use it, here is the download for this. So have some fun with this AI generation. If you want to use any audio, just go over to the audio. You can see the trending ones here. We have the search up here. We can go ahead and preview. And if I click on again, it will stop. We'll need to download it to be able to use it down here. So you can see now it's downloaded. So I can go and drag this to my audio track at the bottom. Here it is on this audio track. So I have this placed in here. So take advantage of the audio here that you can use for free as part of Filmora. You're going to love how easy it is to put titles. I'm going to go grab this clip right here and just place it into a track. Oh, I forgot to mention, notice how I can size these if I just grab in between them. If you want this to be a little larger, how easy it is to change. Okay, let's go up to titles. And with any of these, if I click on them, it's going to give me a preview right here. So then I can change what I want to add to it. So if I pick that one, or if I just wanted, let's say, a basic one, here we go. If you pick the one you want, just drag it down to where you want it to pop up. So now if I hit play, when the playhead reaches this point, it will pop up. But I want to edit that. I don't want to say your title here. So like before, just double click on it and you're going to get all the options. Make sure you're over titles here. This is where you can write it here, or I could write over here. If I go ahead and just select in here or there, doesn't matter. If I say a dog's life, or I could adjust over here. I could place this where I want, drag it around, and then I can go through and set what I want. Well, do I want a certain font? And you can see how quickly it adjusts. I have size here, but I can also grab the size here. I can do my rotation of this. And there's also presets with these. If I drag down, you can see all these different ones. So if I wanted one of these, I just click on it and it gets created. So you can play around with different ways to get it. Now, if I wanted this to be over, and I could just have this at the beginning and have this where it's maybe in the middle like this, and I can go ahead and hit play, and then it goes to the video. So I can just put it where I want. I can have multiple titles too as well. So if I drag another one down, and that I would go through the same process, double click, and I can change my text here to whatever I want. And as soon as I hit off of it, it's going to show up. So just some fun way to add titles and text to your videos. So let's add a few clips to our tracks, and I'm going to just shorten them up a bit. We'll take a video. Here's another video, and we're going to add some transitions between these. And this is a picture here. So transitions happen between a video to video or video to picture to picture. If I hit play, it just jumps from one to the other. If I go up top to transition, you have the same thing where you can search for them. You see the trending. If I just start with the basic one, let's say like dissolve, I just need to drag this in between the two clips. So I drag and drop it. And then now if I hit play, you'll see that nice smooth transition. If I double click here, it opens up the different options that I have. So if I didn't want it to be 2 seconds, I could adjust that and apply it to all. I can also have a different transition mode, and then I could hit OK. So take a look at some of these other ones here. If it's a new one, it would have to be downloaded, which is very quick. So if I take this one and drag and drop, you can see how quickly it downloads. And then I can move my playhead over. If I just hit play, then that's my transition in between the picture, or from the video to the picture. Everything's just drag and drop. Make your edits when you double click on it to make any changes. Let's move over to the effects now. So I have a video clip, and I'll show you how quickly you can add. So if I wanted to have it look like Cinema 21:9, drag this onto it, and it changes it. So now it looks like it's more for the theater versus that other one. I'm just going to go Control Z, And let's try a couple other ones. How about we try this shiny golden pack? If I drop this down, look at the effect that's added to the clip. So it makes it very easy. You can go through, search, you find something you like, just go ahead and you'll have to download it and then try it out on your clip. Stickers, just drag them on. So I'm under the stickers tab here and look at all the different ones. So I can take something where it says subscribe. I can drag this to where I want. It will download and place it here. Just like all the other ones, I can double click, I can move it, I can size it to place it exactly where I want. So you can do this with all types of different stickers. Templates are going to save you a ton of time, especially the split screen ones. Let's move over to templates here and take a look at all the different split screens. I'm going to do a demo with this one right here, number 29. I'm just going to drag it down. So when I go, I'm just going to click off of it for a moment and go back to media. I can drag my media where I need to go. So let's say this one right here, I'll put in number 1, just drag and drop over. This one, I'll drag into number 3 here. And then this last one here, I'll drag into number 2. I can position them differently, so I can double click on this and notice I can drag this down and place it where I need. But let's go see what I have now. If I go ahead and play this, look at that. So they have these split screens all set up where I can just choose it and then drag and drop them in. The other thing that I just want to point out is we have templates here that are pre-made. I'm just going to delete this one. But if you wanted, let's say, history of the world as the beginning, this is already created for you with some audio there that you could add to your video. So take a look at all the templates that you can have fun with and create some professional looking videos. So let's say you're all done your video and you want to export it, share it away with other people, place it on YouTube. So I have a little video here that I just put together. It has some different effects from templates to text in it. It has transitions. It has some stickers. So a lot of things that I talked about here today, the audio is on it. So all I need to do is if I click on export up top, you'll see that it will open up with this one. If I just want to save it back on my computer, I can go ahead. It has the name that I started. I could rename it. I could choose a file to where I want. So if I just click on it and then pick a spot. So if I knew I wanted it back in this Filmora media, I could select that folder. I could match the project settings. What's the format? I'm going to leave it at MP4, but you can see where you can make the changes. These are picked up from those project settings at the very beginning, so you can make those other changes. Now, notice I could go through export to device. I could log into YouTube at this point to upload it right to my account. I could log into TikTok, Vimeo, and there's also a DVD option. When you get everything set up, you might think about adding a thumbnail. So I can just hit edit on this and it will generate a thumbnail to use for this. And it doesn't take too long. It just usually picks a clip from the video. So here's the one it picked. I could hit the check mark. If you had one from local, I could upload it on it. I'm just going to hit cancel on this and I'm going to hit export. So now it's going to be exported into that folder that I chose, and this one shouldn't take too long at all. I can go and open the folder from this point and it should be placed right in here. So what is it called? It is called Demo Filmora. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, open. And it gives you an idea of the preview, how everything came out. So everything worked quite easily with this whole process. This brings me to the end of this introductory video for Filmora. There's still a lot more I can show you. I just wanted to make sure you're familiar with some of the most popular options. Let me know what else you would like to learn with Filmora. Thanks for watching this week on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.